People, deluded, I'm back again now. You lot know me, I don't rant and rave. And it's still early in the transfer market, and Arsenal might do some great things. But one thing I'm not going to lie, people, it's upsetting seeing Aston Villa paying 20 odd million for strikers and seeing West Ham go for Maxi Gomez and Fornals. Um, and us just here penny pinching and not got no money and talking about we need to sell players and do this and do that before we can buy players. Now, again, people, apologies for that. Who's skyping me again? I'm not too sure for finances on the health of both clubs. I'm more inclined to believe Arsenal is in a healthier shape than West Ham, but I know West Ham, the stadium and stuff the owners are living in terms of taxes and that. Apologies for seeing my Mac, people. Let me bend that down a bit. But yeah, it is depressing. Now again, this isn't FIFA. A lot of these, again, for me anyways, I'm not getting gassed off the names in it. Like Maxi Gomez is a bad boy striker. Fornals is a good midfielder. He's a bit consistent, but he's a good midfielder. Whether they bang in the Premier League is a different thing. Or that Wesley guy, I think he's okay. Villa won it. That's a good striker for him. Whether these players bang or not, it's a different story, innit? I'm not here to talk about the names. I'm not fussed about the names. For me, it's about the intent. It's about the ambition sort of thing. That's really what gets me and what upsets me is, Carl, what are we doing? Like I said, it's still early in the transfer market. Well, what? It's the 16th of June. Things when it's silence, it's not just us. It's when you should expect clubs to be doing stuff. When it gets to July the 1st, sorry, you'll see more movement. So I'm not ranting and raving and things like that, but it is concerning. Of course, United's thing is different to us in terms of finances and health of the club and owner and all of these sort of things. But look at United. Like we might people might banter them and say these are not United targets, but at least it look again from last season, just looking in, because it looked like they had a mess in terms of the transfer window last season. But in terms of now, it looks like at least Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or whoever, Edward would have to earn his thing, and he's still got his critics, but at least with them, it looks like there's a clear ethos on who they want to get. They want to get British players that know the United way and all that jazz. You've seen them linked with Longstaff, Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James is again. I think he's decent in it, but he's not the most eye-catching signings. Let's cut the crap in it. But and a lot of this is just Issa Diop. A lot of this is, and he's French, so he's a bit relevant to it. But a lot of these signings might not happen, but it's about the intent. Liverpool are quite silent, but you hear rumours they want to bring in a centre-half, and you know Liverpool are just going to come out with a mad thing. I think City are very peculiar. They won't make many signings, but they'll be very good signings. You're even seeing Spurs link with Ndombele and players like that. What are we doing? Of course, I hope that with the signings of Claude Maurice and other players like that, there's a clear ethos or mandate in terms of who we need to get. Again, people, I can't speak for anyone, but again, I'll be jealous if someone signs Ndombele, of course. But I don't care for the names. I don't care for the fine that's being spent. For me, it's the intent and the ambition. Teams want to get back in this thing. Newcastle are being linked with new owners, so who knows what happens there. You know, Leicester and Wolves, for example, are going to splash money, and it is concerning. Again, I just want to see some intent. We could sign a player for 10 million. I don't care. As long as there's intent, as long as we've clearly done our due diligence, for instance, I don't care if a centre-half costs 50p or 2 million or 200 million, people. As long as a man can defend. As long as he can defend and relish his defending, that's all I want. I just want intention. I just want people to source the areas that we need to do, get them in, get the players out that need to be gone, sort out the young players, which ones can stay, which ones can go, because that's all about intent. Because you know Wolves are going to come with a mad thing soon, Leicester are going to come with a mad thing as well, and to see that we've only allegedly got 45 to 50 million, when we're football fans, so we'll never know, in it, people. I know a lot of people can say, oh, the shirt deal, and I see a lot of comments, trust me, we haven't got this and that. Everybody's talking like they know everything. Whether we've got it or not, we don't know, in it. We just have to assume the worst. Again, it's probably not as bad, but we just have to assume the worst. It makes me laugh when I see these long ass comments, and it's people talking about shirt sales and all the fam. You don't know. You're just waffling as to what you've seen on Twitter and hypothetical. Do we probably have more money than 50 million? Yes, but if you look on the penny pinching reports, and if you look on what we're being told by some credible, respective journalists and people actually analysing our financial situation, it doesn't paint a gloomy picture, because the manager between the owner, sorry, between not wanting to invest and not being able to invest, isn't happening. And then obviously we're crippled by, in terms of FFP, we've actually, the one thing Arsenal seem to care about in terms of wages, and thought it was going to save us and make a level playing field, it's the one thing that kind of cripples us. There is room to manoeuvre in terms of wages and stuff, which is, if you see my other vid or read the AST report, as to why you see Lacazette and Aubameyang linked with moves, but there's really not a lot of room to wiggle around people. So like I said, for me anyways, we're at a different health than a lot of clubs. It's a back to basics thing for me anyways. Strip the club bare, go with the players and young players that you can move forward with. The players that can't be, cut them loose. The players that can be moved forward with, take your time. Get them to learn how to defend, keep clean sheets, install the mental values we need to progress as a club, and all of these sort of things. Bring in the left back, the centre half minimum for me, before we talk about the midfield, the right winger position, and all of these other things. We probably need a right back as well, because when in truth is Bellerin back, we face the prospect of Maitland-Niles starting the season, Jenkinson there because he's here on paper. Mustafi's still contracted on paper as well. Lichtsteiner's gone, but Adiz, Maitland-Niles can do his thing, but you don't know what you're going to get from him at fullback, game in, game out. As much as I like him, that is a weak area in terms of us not being able to defend either way. So until I see certain things change, how can I be really optimistic beyond what I'm seeing? The good thing is, like I've said, we don't need to panic. It's June 6th. But for me, it's the intent and the ambition of other clubs. Again, this isn't FIFA. Most of these signings don't bang in general. Half of these signings that clubs, our club in general as well, sign, don't bang in it. So I don't get caught off names of compilations and things. I'm just looking at the intent and the ambition. And if you take nothing away from this, people, that's the only point I want to resonate with you before some of you talk your nonsense. But on that note, I'm going to keep it moving. People, Deluded, thank you for watching. I'm out.